Hey, we are back. Dawn Stensland here with Food Network star Mark Summers, who's been sharing details of that horrific car crash in a Philadelphia cab that shattered the left side of his face. Actually could have killed you, 1 inch either way. But now you're really on a crusade. I mean, you've learned a lot about cab safety and taught us all a lot about how dangerous cabs are.
Well, I want to teach more people, and I want to change some laws. The first law that's totally ridiculous is the fact that if you're driving a cab in Philadelphia, the only amount of coverage that you have to take mandatory on the disability of a passenger is $15,000, which is total insanity. My first hospital bill was $112,000. Didn't include the surgery the first time, and I'm getting ready to do another one now. So that's, you know, it should be $1 million minimum, number one. Number two, all those partitions are illegal nationwide. When they were first put in, they were put in to save the cabbies from guys with guns and violence, okay. Here's the problem. They slap them up. If you notice, next time you're in a cab, there are bolts that stick out all the way around. There is a change tray that generally is sticking out. If you go online and just Google cab accidents, you will find out, not only in Philadelphia, but primarily in New York, the amount of accidents where people's noses, chins are just ripped off, teeth go through their lips, horrible situations because people, for whatever reason, don't strap in, number one. Those things are so dangerous, number two. And now it's like a broadcast center there. They had that credit card machine, eye level. That's what I went into. Here's the thing.
And that's what gashed your face.
That's what ripped my face apart and crushed it. And a lot of people said, and I'll be the first to say, not wearing a seatbelt is stupid. I understand that. However, the research says, because of the way those cabs are built, that the passenger is 16 to 19 inches away from that partition. So whether you're wearing a seatbelt or not, you're going into that thing.
And they told you, in fact, that even if you had been wearing the seatbelt, it was so close, and with the impact.
The impact, it would have made no difference. So we have to put airbags on the back of those things. There has to be something from the National Transportation Safety Board or some government agency, and I don't want to get the government involved with everything, but somebody needs to standardize these things and make them safe for the passenger as well as for the driver. And there's all sorts of history now that says that they're not even safe for the driver because on a collision, those often, especially a rear end, goes and caves in on the back of the heads of the drivers, and it hurts them as bad as it hurts the passenger. So all sorts of work needs to be done.
And you have at least one lawmaker that
Larry
this is real.
Farnese in Philadelphia said he wants to do something called the Mark Summers Law. He came up to me at a holiday party and wants to change not only the laws for the $15,000 liability, but also to come up with a way to make the partitions legal and safe for all the passengers as well. So if we can change that, I'm not out to get rich. I want my medical bills paid, and I want to make sure that people don't have to suffer with what I suffered through.
Yeah, it's been horrible for you. And I think of, you know, for me as a mom with a 6- and 8-year-old, oftentimes you're with the family, you've got kids on the lap. I mean, to think of families and children and nobody even knew about this.
Absolutely.
So it's just the awareness level. And you do have, not that we want to focus on it, but there unfortunately is a lawsuit because of that 15 grand minimum so that you can recoup some of your legal, your bills for the medical.
Yeah, why should I have to pay for something? I mean, the driver got a ticket from the police officer for speeding, number one. I mean, when it, you know, I got certain things I can't say, but nonetheless, check these cabs when you get into them. First of all, there are no seatbelts. Get out of the cab, number one. But if you're cautious about the driver's condition or the condition of the car, you know, walk. They have a great new app called Uber that you can go. They're town cars. I'm giving them a free plug. I have nothing to do with them, but it's a little bit safer vehicle, number one, and number two, they'll come to you no matter where you are. So just be cautious if you choose to go in that particular type of transportation.
Yeah, it's an important safety warning that you're sharing with everybody. It's really changed your life.
Yeah, it does, because, you know, I don't want to sound super philosophical, but when you have one of those, I could be gone, and, you know, I have children and a wife and, you know, a nice career, and you wake up every morning and just assume everything's going to be great. And I learned very quickly that life can change like that. So I'm approaching things a little differently. I'm not working quite as hard, and I'm trying to stop and smell the roses. I just did a little trip with my family, and I called it the Stop and Smell the Roses tour. And
but you still have to work, and you're still
yes.
still in cabs. So are you a different kind of cab rider?
I get a little nervous. I mean, the first thing I do is I don't let them take off until I'm buckled in. In fact, yesterday I was in New York and I had a guy who was ready to go and I couldn't find the little slot to put it in, so that was nerve-wracking. But you got to live, and you can't, it's like getting back on the horse.
Yeah.
You just have to be a little more cautious about the way you handle your life, but appreciate every day a little more.
And appreciate all that good food.
Oh yeah, working at Food Network has been the best job. I mean, I was at Nickelodeon and I worked at History and Lifetime, but the Food Network's the best job I've ever had.
And we want to talk about that coming up because Mark has certainly eaten at the best restaurants in the world. So what is his favorite food and more? That's next.
I can't wait to find out.